In today's Midweek Mini, I'm telling you the case of a babysitter who is accused of causing life-threatening injuries to a young child who was under her care, and then trying to blame it on the mother. We're going to get into the case of Kimberly Dow for this Midweek Mini. Welcome, lambs. Welcome to Love and Murder, Heartbreak to Homicide, your Wednesday edition. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kai, and I will be your host. How about you sit back, listen to this episode, and if you like it, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any more true crime episodes. If you're a returning lamb, thank you so much. I am very humbled. I want to thank you so much for returning to my podcast. Before we begin, I want to remind you that this episode and all my episodes are sponsored by my lambs in Patreon, patreon.com/love and murder. If you're not a member of Patreon, you're missing out on some bonus episodes that we have in there, like I just did a Kai Rant on a guy who beat a poor little 6-year-old so much that he took chunks out of his butt and then poured hydrogen peroxide in there. Oh, I can't believe that. And then another Kai Rant where a mother left her 10-week-old baby home alone so that she can go to work. You can find all of these and more in our Patreon, patreon.com/love and murder, where you'll also be a sponsor of Love and Murder. But I know y'all came here for the episode, so let's get into this Midweek Mini. On March 17th, 2022, Kimberly Dow, a 34-year-old woman from Maitland Street, Dunfermline, Scotland, agreed to look after a 5-month-old boy overnight. The infant victim was described by everyone as a happy and content child. Before this incident, she had no concerns about Kimberly's caregiving abilities. Basically, Kimberly had previously looked after the child when the mother and the grandmother had gotten COVID, and the baby had returned home in its usual cheerful state. So she basically trusted Kimberly. However, on that day, I guess Kimberly wasn't doing what she would normally do, and the baby was taken to the hospital. At the hospital, that's when the severity of the assault became apparent. Medical examinations revealed 15 distinct bruises on the child's face, numerous retinal hemorrhages in both eyes, and significant bleeding around the brain. Medical professionals concluded that the extent and locations of the injuries indicated a prolonged period of shaking. After this, they called 911 and detectives were on the case. They meticulously collected evidence from Kimberly's home. They also obtained medical records and expert opinions to establish the timeline and severity of the injuries. They helped the prosecution build a case around the fact that there was evidence of only one occasion when the victim suffered harm, which coincided with the time that he was in Kimberly's care. Basically, this also crumbled Kimberly's account of the events that she said. She initially claimed that she had briefly left the child on a couch, only to come back and find him on the floor. In one message to his mother, Kimberly stated that the baby had an accident and, quote, gave himself a sore one. However, as shown in the investigation, this one fall failed to account for the extent and nature of the injuries that medical professional had seen. So after the investigation was completed and it turned out that Kimberly had lied through her frickin' teeth, she was arrested and the case was taken to trial. Actually, throughout the trial, Kimberly denied responsibility for the crime, then put in a special defense attempting to incriminate the baby's mother. She claimed that the mother, not her, could have been the one responsible for the injuries. However, this defense was quickly dismantled in court. One of the lawyers called Kimberly's attempt to blame the mother a, quote, red herring, emphasizing that there was, quote, not one single piece of evidence to support this claim. Ma'am, shut the F up. What a piece of Anyways, during her statements in the court, Kimberly maintained that the child had which one is it? Was it the mom doing it or did the child fall off the couch? Anyways, during her statements in the court, Kimberly maintained that the child had fallen off the couch. Then she went to trial and said, well, I don't know. Have you looked at the mother? Maybe the mother did this to the child. Did you ever think about that? And then when they weren't buying it, she's like, well, he fell off the couch. Okay, ma'am, how in the world do you explain his eyes bleeding? Did he fall off the couch into a vat of frickin' lions? Into a vat of razor blades? What do you have at the bottom of your couch, ma'am? Did you not hear about his extensive injuries? That does not, babies fall off the couch all the time. Maybe the most they'll get is a bump on the head. Even if they hit the coffee table on the way down, the most they'll get is a bump on the head. Maybe, some maybe get something else. But babies are highly resilient, you piece of trash. This is why I can't be a lawyer. Because I'd be trying to negate what she's saying, but at the same time, I'm going to totally be calling these people names. And of course, you can't do that in court, so I keep myself on a podcast. In court, testimony revealed that the bleeding in the brain was so extensive and widespread that it pointed to a continuous period of trauma. Again, what do you have at the bottom of your couch, ma'am? They also showed evidence that the child was uninjured when he was first dropped off at Kimberly's house. Dude, before you drop off your kid at the babysitter's house, take pictures, take videos, and everything like that, because apparently they're going to try and blame you if they do something to your child. Every morning I would take a picture and take a video. This led the prosecution to argue, quote, there is only evidence of one single occasion when he suffered injury, and that was when he was in Kimberly Dow's care. The mother also testified that yeah, she had watched him before, and like I said before when he came back, what she said this time is, quote, he came back his normal wee self, happy and confident. But she also went on to say on the day of the attack, she had difficulty contacting Kimberly. You know, you're calling your babysitter to find out if your kid's okay, and your babysitter is supposed to answer immediately. I don't care if you're taking a shit. Answer the phone. I don't care about your personal things that you're doing. Answer the phone. I can hear that plop, but I need to hear that my baby's safe. That's what I care about the most. So Kimberly wasn't answering, so she's kind of getting worried. And then finally, when Kimberly did answer, she told her that the baby had, quote, fallen off the couch. And she said when she finally came to pick up her baby, she found him in a critical state. And the critical state was that he was screaming and, quote, tensing his body. The mother also said that Kimberly had, when she told her that the baby fell, she had told her to, quote, hurry up. She also texted her saying that, quote, he gave himself a sore one. And like all of these little things, you know, I guess she's trying to build her alibi. Oh, look everything I text her. And also the audacity is ripe with this one because her defense came and used the text that the mother was reading to the court and was like, yeah, as you can see, judge and jury, this shows that the boy fell off the couch and the mother is the one who did this to him. How does that show that? That just shows that a woman is trying to cover her tracks. But you know, good try, defense. I guess y'all didn't have a case, so you had to try something. And how are you defending a woman who did this to a child? I'm telling you, she'd be defending herself because they'd be like, you want to take this case, Kai? Nope. Because I will be on the stand telling you that my client is guilty. I wouldn't be a good lawyer. I'll be like, Your Honor, the guilty party, my client, as the defense, said that these text messages came from the mother. The guilty party, my client, this is how I would be starting out every sentence. During closing statements, Advocate Deputy Michelle Brannigan stated, quote, I suggest an overwhelming picture comes into painfully sharp focus. This was no accident. Someone hurt him. So nobody, absolutely nobody, not even her defense team believed Kimberly's accounts, and the judge found her guilty of attempted murder, with Judge Lady Ross stating, quote, you committed a very serious offense against a vulnerable infant in your care. She was sentenced to 8.5 years in prison, and the judge did not allow her bail. After the verdict, she was ordered to be remanded in custody immediately pending the start of her sentence. So she wasn't allowed to leave jail at all. Quote, Your actions are unexplainable and quite possibly inexplicable. And this is the quote that Lady Ross left Kimberly with and is leaving us with. And that is the case of the piece of trash, despicable, horrible, of a woman, Kimberly Dow. What do y'all think of that episode? It's episodes like these that I can't let sink in. She completely brutalized that poor child. And then she turned around and had the cojones to try and blame the mother. Can you believe that? Dude, I honestly, as that mother, I would have tried to get my hand around that woman's neck while I was in court. If I hadn't already tried to do it, because that would have been my first instinct. After I took my child to the hospital and they said what happened, woo, the police would have had a field day trying to keep me off that woman. And then in court, because after that, I would have composed myself. I'd have been like, okay, let the law do what the law does. Okay, you're okay. Go to court. Let's go ahead and fight this woman to make sure justice is served for my child. And then can you imagine you're sitting in court trying to keep yourself composed, and this bitch opens her stank mouth and says, the mother did it. Like, think about what would you have done? Because I already know I would have jumped up. I'd have, what? And I'd have, woo. Oh, I can't believe some people. I feel really sorry for this mother. She thought she had a good babysitter for her child, and this person turned out to be a piece of and then blamed the mother for it. Oh, I can't even. The audacity of some people. I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Sorry for all the cursing, even though I didn't do that much cursing, but sorry for the cursing. This is kind of how I keep it from sinking in. So this is one of them that I need to not sink in. And let's go into your comments from previous episodes. Let's see. Last week's midweek mini, I did not ask a poll question, but last week's midweek mini is the 6-year-old who was tortured and murdered by his mother and her boyfriend. The case of Giovanni Jennings. That was another one. Ugh, these people are melting my brain, but I'm going to continue doing it even though my brain is melting, because these people need to be put on blast because they're pieces of crap and they wish their story would be kept under wraps so nobody has to hear what pieces of crap they are. But I am going to tell people. So I did post in the Facebook group. You can find the Facebook group in the show notes below if you want to be a part of the free Facebook group. I did post in there that I did try to, when I posted the episode, I put under there that I did try to keep this professional, but I was very angry, and I know y'all heard me like breathing and just growling throughout the episode. I was so angry. So Christina Bobo said, I love when you're angry because I be on the same time. Who wants to rage alone? Not me. I'm happy. I rage so y'all don't have to rage. I rage so the parents can feel that someone is angry with them. I rage because, I can't imagine, so I rage. And I'm happy that it helps y'all process your emotions too. And I hope it helps the family process their emotions as well. Gypsy said, I am again so upset when I hear stories like this. I hate to think what they did to the other kids. Shirts won't happen. The CAs will let it be known. What? Shirts won't happen. The COs will let it be known. Gypsy, I don't understand that part of your statement. I apologize. I don't understand the part of that statement. Maybe other people do. I just don't. Gypsy continues. They could have been with loving families. Kai, thanks for bringing awareness to scumbags like this. We need to be vigilant and check on our neighborhood kids. If it doesn't look right, it's not right. You're welcome, Gypsy. Just like I said, that's why I do this. I need to bring awareness to scumbags. I call them trash. And you have to put the emphasis on trash. I call them complete trash. That's what I call them. But yes, this is why I do this, even though these episodes melt my brain and I really try and not let them sink in. Honestly, there are certain episodes that are out there. There's certain cases out there. I cannot do it. If I do it, my mental health will be shot and y'all will not be getting cases because I'll be at therapy. There's certain cases I cannot do. And even my husband won't allow me to do. And I say allow me because he knows how fragile my mental health is in certain aspects. So there are certain cases I can't do, but certain cases I can, and I know I can't let it sink in. And when I can do them, I will do them because I will bring all of these child abusing trash scumbag assholes to light, as they should be. Do not hurt children. What is wrong with you people? Anyways, calming down. Yes, we do need to be vigilant. We do need to check on our neighborhood kids. Don't be an asshole and just because you see a parent yelling at their child, call 911, because look, a parent can yell at their child. Now, if you see them putting cigarettes out on their child or blood-curdling screams at 2 a.m. from 2 a.m. to like 6 a.m., yes, call the police. But regular shit, no. Mind your business when it comes to that. Anyways, that is all I have for you today. If you missed last week's Rant, I do have the link for that in the show notes below so you can listen to me rage. Oh, I was raging. I actually called that episode a raw rant because I was raging on that episode. So if you missed it, the link to that is in the show notes below. I want to hear your comments about today's midweek mini, so please leave them in the show notes below. I do not have a poll on this episode, but I want to hear your comments. Before we go, if you would like to support Love and Murder and be a sponsor, then go ahead and sign up to our Patreon, patreon.com/Love and Murder, where you do help out. You become an exclusive lab because you're helping out monetarily, Love and Murder, and also you will get case extras, you'll get Kai rants, and you'll get, basically, you get something, I get something. And I want to thank you for whoever signs up at whatever tier. Whatever you sign up for, that helps me out. If you just want to do a one-time donation, then you can buy me an apple juice. Most people say buy me a coffee. I say buy me an apple juice because I don't drink coffee. The link to that is in the show notes below. And also a free and easy way of helping out Love and Murder is by simply sharing this episode. We have a saying here at Love and Murder that we share it with everyone we know and everyone we don't. So go ahead and forward this episode in your text messages or in your WhatsApp to all your friends and family, and then go ahead and put it in a Reddit group, in a Facebook group, or share it on any social media platform that you're on. What you could also do is you can either go to my YouTube or you can go to my Instagram and simply share a clip of whatever episode on your social media. Share it with everybody you know and everybody you don't. And that is all I have for you in this midweek mini, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.